Ever get that feeling? Like Greek mythology is just this big game of celestial telephone. Stories passed down, twisted, turned. You're never quite sure what's true.
Oh, absolutely. It's like trying to put together one of those thousand-piece puzzles, but half the pieces are missing, and the ones you do have are in ancient Greek.
Exactly. So today we're diving deep. We're going to break down the major players in Greek mythology, their family drama, and trust me, it makes reality TV look tame and why these ancient stories still matter.
Think of it as your cheat sheet to the Greek pantheon who's who, what they're known for, and why you might want to avoid making them angry.
Especially that last part, right? So
Okay.
let's start at the beginning. We're talking creation myth, those primordial beings, power struggles, enough dysfunction to make even Zeus blush.
And that's saying something, given his track record. But it all starts with chaos. Imagine, like, the ultimate void, emptiness, before anything.
Talk about starting from scratch, right? So how do we go
Yeah.
from the ultimate nothing to, well, everything?
Well, from chaos emerges Gaia, the Earth Mother. But think of her not just as a planet, but like a living, breathing entity, the source of all creation.
Okay, so we've got the foundation, Earth Mother established. What happens next? Does she get lonely? Decide it's time for some company?
Pretty much.
Mm.
From Gaia emerges Uranus, the sky. Now imagine these two, Earth and sky, as the ultimate power couple. Together they have kids, the Titans, these crazy powerful beings who embody, like, the forces of nature themselves.
Okay, so now we've got a whole family of superpowered beings. Things are getting interesting. But this is Greek mythology we're talking about, so happily ever after probably isn't on the table, right?
You know the drill? Uranus, turns out, is a bit of a control freak. Like, he imprisons some of his own kids, the Cyclops and the Hecaton chairs, because he's scared of their power.
Hold on, the Cyclops, as in the one-eyed giants, and the Hecaton chairs. Those are the hundred-handed ones, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see why he might be a little intimidated.
exactly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a hundred-handed giant stuffed into, like, the cosmic basement? So Gaia, being a good mother, is understandably upset by this. She decides it's time for a family intervention. And she gives her son Cronus a very special tool for the job, a sickle.
Okay, that escalated quickly. We knew we were dealing with powerful beings, but a sickle, that's some hardcore gardening equipment right there.
Oh, this wasn't your average weed whacker.
Uh,
This sickle was imbued with Gaia's own power.
Yeah.
You could do some serious damage.
So I'm guessing Cronus uses this sickle to have a little chat with dear old dad.
Let's just say it was a confrontation for the ages.
Yeah.
And Cronus, with that act, he ushers in the reign of the Titans, frees his siblings, ends Uranus's tyranny. Freedom at last. Or so you'd think.
Okay, this is where I feel like we're seeing that whole apple doesn't fall far from the tree thing happening. Cronus, now in charge, doesn't exactly learn from his dad's mistakes, does he?
Nope, not really. Cronus is carrying a heavy burden of prophecy. This prophecy says that just like his dad, Cronus will be overthrown by his own child.
Talk about a self-fulfilling prophecy, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety alone. So how does Cronus handle this bit of news?
Well, let's just say Cronus wasn't exactly winning any Father of the Year awards. To avoid the prophecy, he decides to take matters into his own hands, literally, as his wife, Rhea, gives birth to their children, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon. He swallows them whole.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's next level family drama right there. Swallowing your own children. I'm starting to think this family needs some serious therapy.
I think we need a whole team of therapists for this level of dysfunction.
Yeah.
But it gets wilder. See, when Rhea's pregnant with Zeus, she comes up with a plan. She's going to save her last kid from this awful fate.
Rhea sounds like she's the brains of this operation. What's the plan? I'm on the edge of my seat here. Okay, so last time we left off with Cronus. How do we put this delicately? Developing some, let's say, unconventional parenting techniques.
Yeah, unconventional is one word for it.
Swallowing your kids whole. Not exactly winning any Dad of the Year awards. But Rhea, thankfully, she's got a plan to save Deity Zeus. I'm
Huh.
guessing this is where that whole stone swapping thing comes in, right?
You got it. Rhea, she spirits Zeus away, sends him off to be raised in secret, and instead gives Cronus a bundled up rock, basically.
Can you imagine? Oh, honey, another beautiful baby boy. He's got your eyes and your rock-hard skin, apparently. But really, while Cronus is none the wiser, Zeus is out there somewhere growing up and probably plotting some epic payback. How does he go from hidden prince to, like, leader of the rebellion?
Well, remember those other kids Cronus trapped? The Cyclops, the Hecatoncheires, still stuck down there. Zeus, with, his charm and that whole let's not get eaten by dad argument, he rallies them to his cause.
I bet they were ready to bust out of that cosmic prison. But Cronus and the Titans, they weren't just going to step aside, were they?
Oh, absolutely not. This wasn't just a family feud. This was the Titanomachy, a battle for the ages. We're talking a war that shook the universe, went on for like a decade.
A decade. That makes the Trojan War look like a weekend getaway. What finally turned the tide? It wasn't just a pep talk from Zeus, right?
Well, remember those Cyclops? Turns out they're amazing craftsmen, like divinely skilled. They create these incredible weapons for Zeus and his brothers, the Thunderbolt, the Trident, a Helm of Darkness. Talk about an upgrade.
Okay, now we're talking lightning bolts, tridents. With gear like that, I can see why things shifted. But
Yeah.
wasn't there also that whole prophecy angle, destiny and all that?
Oh, yeah. Prophecies are a big deal in Greek mythology, almost like their own force of nature. And in this case, it had been foretold that Zeus would win, which, probably helped morale on Team Zeus.
It's one thing to know the ending of the movie. It's another to be in that movie, fighting your way to that ending. But okay, so prophecies aside, the Titans are defeated. Zeus and his siblings are victorious. What happens next? Do they finally go to family therapy?
Not quite. But they do split up the realms of the cosmos amongst themselves, which, hey, it's a start, right? Better than trying to digest each other.
Right, baby steps. So Zeus, ambitious guy that he is, he takes the sky for himself. Poseidon, wild and restless, he claims the seas, which leaves Hades. What does he get in this cosmic real estate deal? So, last we left off, Zeus has the sky, Poseidon's claimed the seas, which kind of leaves Hades with, well, the leftovers, right?
It's kind of funny when you think about it that way.
Right, like, okay, who wants sunshine and rainbows and, all taken, fine, I'll take land of the dead, pass the ambrosia. But seriously, the underworld wasn't just some gloomy basement, was it?
No, not at all. The underworld, it was the realm of the dead, sure, but it was also a place of incredible power and responsibility.
Okay, so maybe not a bad gig if you look at it that way. Like being the manager of a very, very exclusive club, you get to make the rules.
Exactly. And Hades, see, despite that whole god of the underworld reputation, he wasn't some evil tyrant. He was actually seen as a stern but fair ruler, making sure things ran smoothly in the afterlife.
Huh, interesting. So much for the whole fire and brimstone image. Seems like he took his duties pretty seriously.
Oh, absolutely. Don't forget, this was a culture obsessed with the afterlife, honoring the dead, making sure they had what they needed. Hades, he was a crucial part of that whole system. And speaking of crucial parts,
Yeah.
can't forget the goddesses, can we?
Right, the leading ladies of Mount Olympus. And these weren't your average goddesses, were they?
Not even close. Let's start with Hera, shall we? Zeus's wife, queen of the gods, talk about power and regality.
But also, gotta say, being married to Zeus, with his, let's call a wandering eye for politeness sake, I bet that tested even her patience sometimes.
You think? Hera, she was known for being fiercely protective of marriage. And Zeus, well, let's just say he wasn't always the best at monogamy.
Bet there were some epic arguments on Mount Olympus. But all drama aside, Hera's story, even with the tough stuff, it kind of speaks to the whole idea of commitment, devotion,
Yeah.
even when it's hard.
Absolutely. And then there's Athena, born from Zeus's head. Talk about a headache. She's the goddess of wisdom, strategy, righteous warfare.
Athena's my girl, always 2 steps ahead, fighting for what's right. And let's not forget, she basically gave us some of the most incredible cities. Athens, hello.
Right. She's a protector, a builder, not just a warrior. And then, of course, we have Aphrodite, the goddess of love, beauty, desire, and her influence. It was everywhere.
I bet you don't become the goddess of love by being subtle, right?
Not at all. Her story, it reminds us that love, beauty, desire, these are powerful forces. They can change destinies, start wars, bring down empires.
Talk about a double-edged sword. It's interesting, though, as different as these goddesses are, they all represent something so fundamental to being human, Power, wisdom, love. And yeah, maybe a little jealousy, a little revenge now and then.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of Greek mythology, isn't it? These stories, as wild and crazy as they might seem, they hold up a mirror to our own humanity. They show us that even the gods, the goddesses, they dealt with the same stuff we do. The same desires, the same fears, the same flaws.
It's like that saying, the gods must be crazy, but really it's not about crazy, it's about being human, with all the messy, wonderful, frustrating things that come with it.
And isn't that what we're all still trying to figure out
Yeah.
even today?
For sure. Which I guess is why these stories still resonate, right? Even thousands of years later. They're about us, what it means to be alive, to love, to lose, to want something more.
Exactly. It makes you wonder, though, What will people say about our stories thousands of years from now?
Right. Will they see the same things in us that we see in the myths? The same hopes, the same heartbreaks.
It really makes you think. Well, I guess that's our cue to wrap up. We've journeyed from the dawn of creation to the heights of Mount Olympus, explored epic battles, and untangled some seriously messy family drama.
And we've just scratched the surface. But hey, that's the beauty of a deep dive, right? There's always more to discover. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.